Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena and welcome back to another video. So first of all, thank you so much to everyone who reached out to me after, I told you that. Thank you so much, it meant a lot to me. We're fine, I'm fine, everyone is fine already. It's just been also quite chaotic lately, but yeah, everything is fine now. I hope everything comes back to normal again. But yeah, everything is fine, so let's just get started really. So today, you can probably see I'm going to do a book haul because it's been a while. So I'm going to just keep doing this every 3 months. I will do just like a haul. I don't really like to do them monthly. I don't know, it's just not my thing. So we're going to keep doing this. And I'm just going to include here books that have not been featured in almost any video. Not in TBRs, not on wrap-ups, and nor on more like specialized videos like recommendations or something like that. So let's just get started because there's a bunch of books like So first, I finally got a physical copy of Bird Box. I don't love that it's the movie cover, like no, but still it was super cheap. I really wanted a physical copy of this book because I really love it. So yeah, Bird Box, about people going insane after watching something outside and makes them suicidal, basically. I'm not going to display them because there are so many of them. It's just not going to work. Then you have here A Repeat at the Gates by Savatahir, which is book 3 in A Number in the Ashes quartet. I binge read the first month. Like, yeah, I have made a pause after before this one, but I still really want to read it. I don't know when, but I'll do it. But we basically follow 2 main POVs. The first one is a slave in this Romanesque inspired empire, basically, and then we follow a mask, which is kind of an elite force, and their paths collide basically in the middle of the story. It's YA, it's super good for a bit YA. I'm super excited to get into this one. Then you have another sequel here, The Archive of the Forgotten by A.J. Hockwith, which is the sequel to The Library of the Unwritten. I almost said undead. Unwritten. And it's basically about a library in hell where all the unfinished story goes, and in the first book a character from one of the stories runs away and they have to find him. Basically, it's super good. Then you have here The Wolf by Leo Carew. I have no idea what this book is about. I think that it's Viking inspired, but other than that, I've only heard one person talk about this book, and the reviews are great. Apparently it's about the battle of 2 different races. One lives in the north, one lives in the south, and then the south decides to conquer the north. Have no damn clue, but I'm super excited to read it for some reason. Oh, let me just talk about one Kindle book that I bought. I bought so many Kindle books this month, like so many. Well, this month, across these 3 months. I have here We Are the Death by Mike Shackle. I think I have already talked about this book on some other thing, but I don't really want to read it. I have no recollection right now of what was it about. I remember that it was Asian inspired, and it's also a dark fantasy. It's also basically about a revolution and an invasion. I don't know why, but I'm just super excited to read this one. I think it's going to be great. The reviews are also fantastic. It has a 4.13 average rating in Goodreads, which is quite nice. So yeah, I'm super excited. I don't know why, it just calls to me. This cover calls to me. I don't know why. Then I have here The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick, and I've been wanting to read this book for so long. I'm so glad that they had finally the paperback version. I just love these Orbit editions. They are perfect. They're the perfect size for me. But this is basically about a girl trying to get inside a novel house, but then apparently magic comes back to this city of dreams, and apparently there's a lot of masquerading and kind of court political intrigue. So I'm super into that, that, but I'm super excited. I really want to read this one. I've also heard mixed things about it, and also apparently it's quite slow, but I don't really mind that, so we'll see. Then I got the Kindle for Soulkeeper by David Dalglish. Dalglish is such a hard name to say. Holy shit, Dalglish. Yeah, I think that's right. The only thing I know about this one, and it's just such a great line, is that it's about a warrior monk fighting monsters. Yes. I'm so on board with it. But yeah, I know he's the author of Trials of Cloaks was the name. I think it was, but I'm just super intrigued by this series. The third book, I think, is about to come out, or it has already come out this year, so I really want to get started with the trilogy. Then I have here Raybearer by Jordan Ifueko, and if I tell you the truth, I know nothing about this, but my friend Sophia, I will link her channel down below, loves this book, and she keeps recommending it to everyone, so you know, I was just like, I'm going to buy it, okay? But yeah, I don't know about, like, I don't know, but I trust Sophia, so I'm going to read it. I've also heard incredible things about this book. I have a kind of conflict here. I just hate and love this cover at the same time, because I love the golden foiled, but I do prefer the other cover. It's such a predicament, you know? Then I have here Geo by Junji Ito. You will see this on my February wrap-up, because I'm currently reading it. I don't know why, but I saw this like for really cheap the other day, and it was just like, you know, it's been such a long time since I read any manga, and I really wanted to get into Junji Ito's because I do really like body horror and such, so I was just like, you know what, let's just try it. And I got it. It's about it starts with mutant fish. Let me just give you they have fucking legs, like, it's fucking disgusting. It's making me feel pretty disgusted, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm currently there. I have only made my way for a little bit, but yeah, you will see this again on my February wrap-up. Then you have here Pitch Dark by Courtney Alameda. Do you remember that time in January where I was just like, I want to read a sci-fi horror, and I failed miserably at finding something good? Well, I got this book. I didn't read it because it wasn't on audio, so I was only able to listen to audiobooks at the time, and I didn't read it even though I bought it. But apparently this is about, we have two different POVs, and both of them are going to kind of recover this lost ship, and probably something weird is inside the ship. I just love that type of trope so much, like you cannot even imagine. I love it. So that's basically why I bought it, and I'm quite excited to read it. I think I'm going to read it next month, because I think next month I'm only going to choose like sci-fi books for the prompts. I will still follow the prompts of the game, but I think I'm going to only choose sci-fi because I'm craving sci-fi so much right now. Then I got a copy of Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty, and let me tell you something, I'm not a huge fan of the City of Brass. Like, I give it 3 stars. It could have been so much better for me, but everyone keeps raving about this series, so I'm like, should I continue? So I got the book for super cheap, and I was just like, okay, let's see what happens. So I will try to read this one. If I still don't click with it, I will DNF the series. I don't care about the great ending of Empire of Gold. I just don't care. I'm not going to suffer through 2 books to get to one ending. Like, I don't care. But yeah, we'll see. I only remember that we follow a Nari in the first one. She basically gets entangled with this Djinn. Then she discovers that she used to live in this magical city, something like that. I just don't remember. I only remember the ending of the first book, if I'm being honest. And it was, even though apparently this is adult, it felt super YA to me, the first book. So we'll see. I did really enjoy the fact that it had a good chunk of court intrigue. So I'll see if this one convinces me. But for now, I'm just like, maybe. Another trial and error book. This is the Trials of Koli by Emerkari. I read the first one, the Book of Koli, exactly 1 year ago. And I thought I was going to love it. But the thing is, it was such a huge disappointment. And I've been thinking about it since then, and I was just like, maybe it was just me, you know, I wasn't in the right mood or something. So I decided to grab the sequel. So probably in the future months, I will read the first one again and then jump into the second one to see if maybe it was just me and the story is actually good, because it has great ratings actually. So, and I've heard also great reviews from people that I trust. So maybe I just wasn't in the right mind for it when I read it the first time. but we'll see again. It's basically about plants taking over the world. It's a sci-fi dystopian book. The concept is so cool, you know, but we'll see again. Oh my god, let me squish another ebook. This one I literally bought because it was on my in one of my friends' wish list. This is Nophek Gloss by Esa Hansen. I only know that it's a sci-fi. Like, that's the only thing I know. I got it on a sale at I think it was Orbit. Was it Orbit? Yeah, where all the ebooks were only 99 cents. So I got it, but I have no clue what this one is about. If you have read it, please let me know. A couple of my friends have read it. One has 3.5, another one 4.5 stars. So we'll see. But yeah, LGBT plus space opera. So I think it could be great. We'll see if I actually figure out what the hell this one is about. You know, now that I'm talking about books that I own that I know nothing about, let me just talk about this little story that I got for free from Thor. A Dead Djinn in Cairo by Djinn Clark, I think is how you say his name. Yeah, this is a super sweet short novella. It's not even 50 pages, so I don't want to know almost anything about it. Just like, you know, it's a fantasy book and that's it. That's the only thing that I need to know of such a short book. He's the same author as Ring Shout, which I really want to read. So we'll see. But yeah, another one. And also some of my friends have been reading this lately and loving it. So we'll see. This Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but set on the 1920s Shanghai. My friend Tammy really enjoyed it. A lot of my other BookTube friends really enjoyed it. I don't think it's going to be the right book for me, but I still want to read it, you know? So I bought it because it was super cheap. Yeah, I'm such a cheap ass bitch. That's life. That's life. But yeah, I just got it a month ago, I believe. So I'm quite excited, if I tell you the truth. I've heard great things about the supporting characters, so I'm really curious. This one I bought and I'm super intrigued by. Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco. I don't know why, but since I've learned about this book, I've been really intrigued by it. But basically we follow two twins and one of them is brutally murdered. Both of them are witches. And then this twin that is alive goes into this path of revenge trying to find the killer, and she meets this prince of hell. I don't know why, it sounds super good. I'm super excited for this one, like super excited. Then I also got Voice of War by Zach Argyle. I believe this is one of this year's SPFBO contest, so I think that's probably why I got it. Yeah, but know nothing about it. Other than it's a fantasy, like, you know, it's cheap, I get it. Yeah, there's so many books here that I know nothing about, especially the ones that I bought on Kindle. Like, I'm just like that. So we're going to continue with that journey before I jump into books that I actually know what they are about. Another SPFBO book, Last Memoria by Rachel Emma Shaw. I've heard great things about this book. Great things about this book. I think it's the one that I've seen more reviews about, but still no idea. It's about sealing memories, that I remember. It's about sealing memories, and I love everything that is related to just a little bit to memory. It's just such a fascinating concept to me. So yeah. Oh, by the way, I also got Newsprint by Robert Jordan, but it's just in the bottom part of this tag, so I just don't want to move everything. The prequel to The Wheel of Time, Newsprint. I also got Relic by D.T. Neal, and it's about sea monsters, because I asked for recommendations about horror books in the sea. It's something so terrifying about that, and one of those that were recommended to me was Relic, and I got it on Kindle. But yeah, apparently it's a hybrid horror novella, and it's basically about the legend of the Kraken. So I'm into it so bad. You know what? I'm just going to finish with the ebook purchases, so I can just put them iPad down. I also got David Mogok Godhunter by Suji Davis Okumboa, yeah. That took a toll of me. But yeah, the only thing that I know is the Nigerian inspired like fantasy with gods. Only thing that I need to know. And it's also urban fantasy and it's set on Lagos. That's it. That's the only thing I know, and that's the only thing that I need to know to get it. That's it. The next books, I think they're almost all sci-fi. I have here holy shit, I feel so rusty when I get in front of the camera. This is so weird. I have here The Dark That Dwells by Matt Dickman and Ryan Roddy. And I think this is a science fiction book mixed with some fantasy. Yeah, and it's also a space opera. That's it. But apparently there's also magic, so sci-fantasy. I'm curious enough to get it. I think this is not a novella. I think this is a full-length novel, if I'm correct. Yes, indeed. Then I thought that I owned this, but I didn't. This is Sisters of the Bass Black, which is a sci-fi novella. And for some reason, I thought that I owned this. Like, I thought that I have been owning this for like months. And then I was looking for it and it says not bought, and I'm just like, wait. But yeah, it's basically about a group of kind of nuns going to save a colony. And it's just, I think it's going to be great. Some of my friends have read it and really enjoyed it. Like almost 4 stars, everyone. So yeah, I'm curious enough to read it. It's a short novella, so, you know, nothing to lose here. Then another one from my friend Monica. She has been recommending this book to me for a while. Good Morning Midnight, which has also been adapted into a Netflix movie. So I will probably just read the book and then watch the movie. This is by Lily Brooks Dalton, and I think it's about an astronaut. I think it's this kind of sci-fi that is really emotional, something like Do You Dream of Terror Too? So I'm quite excited to read it. But yeah, I will read the book and then I'll watch the movie show. And then I will watch the movie and I will tell you if the movie is actually worth it or not. Those were all the Kindle books, so let's just go back to the physical ones. Oh, Sun is coming out. Finally. Then I have here Bow So Bold and Deadly by Bridget Kammerer. This is the third and final book in the Cursebreakers trilogy. The first one being A Curse of Dark and Lonely. These books are such an addiction, man. They are just so easy to read, so entertaining. I really want to read the third one. It's actually the shortest one, which what the hell. I do believe that this should have been only one book, the first one. That's great. It's basically a retelling of the Beauty and the Beast, but the beauty comes from our world and is teleported to the fantasy world. But you know, I would rather prefer if it was just like one book. But still, I enjoyed Heart So Fierce and Broken enough to just get the third one, so I'll probably read it. So like, it's such an easy read. Then I cannot believe that I haven't read this. This is Whole Empire by Sam Hawke, which is the companion book or the sequel to City of Lies, which I adore. It's such a good book with political intrigue and court intrigue. It's about a siege to a city. It's fucking great. So I don't know why I haven't read the second one. I trust Sam Hawke so much that I didn't even read what this one was about. Like, I just pre-ordered it and I was just so happy when it arrived. Like, that's it. But I believe that we follow these same characters as the first one, the brother and sister. So I really need to read this one. I might take this one as an exception and read it next month between all the sci-fi. Then I have here Beneath the Rising by Primi Mohammed. And do I know anything about this book? No, I know that it's a sci-fi and has a little bit of fantasy. But yeah, apparently one of the main characters creates a clean reactor that will eliminate, you know, using fossil fuels. But they wake up with these Asian ones that want to basically kill everyone. You know how this goes. But yeah, I'm super intrigued. I think that the second book just came out also. But yeah, I'm super intrigued. I really want to get into this one. Then you have here The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden. If you were here last month, you know that I read The Burn the Nightingale and completely loved it. So I just bought the sequel immediately. It's a really weird story to explain because it's so lyrical and so kind of dark, but whimsical, but dark, like dark. And it's based around Russian folklore, which is super cool. But yeah, I love the first one. I cannot wait to jump to the second one. I've heard that the best one is the third one, but we'll see. Then I've got this book. I know that it's super old, like old YA, but I thought that the way it's made, it was so fun that I got it for like €3. This is Replica by Lauren Oliver. And you can read it starting from here and from here. Like, it's such a cool thing. I buy books for the dumbest reasons, probably, but who's surprised by this point? Like, it's basically about the story of two clones, so you can start reading Gemma's story or Lyra's story, or you can jump between the both of them. But yeah, you have here, and then in the middle it goes, is the other story. Do I think that I'm going to like it? Probably not, but I was just so blown away by this thing that I got it. That's it. Then I have here Alice by Christina Henry. I've been wanting to get into Christina Henry's retellings for so long because they are dark retellings of can I just call them like children's books? Don't get at me, like, sorry. But we have Alice, we have Peter Pan. There are more of them. She has a ton of them already. But I got this again for super cheap. That's going to be the sentence of this video. I'm just really curious, and I think this is a great one to start. I've heard that her best one is the Peter Pan one. So yeah, super curious about this one. I have the audiobook also, so I will probably try it really soon. Then I have here Unconquerable Sun by Kate Elliott, which I remember really wanting to read, but now I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. I know that it's a sci-fi book. That's the only thing that I remember. This is such a mess. I'm sorry. But yeah, I know there's also a romance here that is pretty prominent, but I don't care. It's basically about a princess that is, you know, she inherits the kind of, let's call it kingdom, but it's not a kingdom because it's sci-fi, and she just has to continue and basically win this war that is going on. But yeah, I've heard great things about this one, so that's probably why I really want to get it. But yeah, you're probably more familiar with this cover than this one, but this is the, I think it's the UK edition. I don't know, but this one came out quite recently, so we'll see what happens. I really crave, I'm so craving sci-fi right now. Then I have here Severance by Linga Ma, and also this was recommended to me by my friend Monica. I believe this is a post-apocalyptic book. Yes, about a plague. That's it. That's all I need to know. But yeah, that's my keyword. If I have plagues, then I will read it. But I've heard great things from my friend Monica, so. Also for my friend, holy shit. I've been buying so many of the books she has recommended to me. This is the Monstrumologist by Rick Yancey. I haven't actually bought this one. This was a gift for Christmas. Do I know anything about it? Only that it's kind of, it's similar to Strange Practice, where we have like a doctor and we have supernatural beings. Yeah, in this one they are basically trying to stop a plague of monsters from coming back again. I'm super excited. I love this trope, this concept so much. I probably will read The Monstrumologist and Strange Practice at the same time, even though this is probably darkest. I don't care. I'm just super excited for this one, and this is also a series, so super excited. Then I have here We Ride This Storm by Devin Madsen. I only bought this because it's Asian inspired. That's it. I wasn't really into this one when it was self-published. I think that I read like the synopsis several times and wasn't really into that, but then I saw the cover for the second book and was just like, wait a second, this is Asian inspired? Apparently it is. So I was just like, you know what? I'll get it. And I got this for Christmas. So it's a win-win situation here. But yeah, we have a god emperor, we have a warrior, an assassin, and a princess. Sounds great, if I'm being honest. Sounds great. I will probably listen to this one as an audiobook because I'm too lazy to read it physically. But yeah, it sounds great. I think it's going to be amazing. Then I have here Architects of Memory by Cairo. This is a science fiction debut, and I was really drawn to this one because the main character is terminally ill and is trying to find a cure for this thing, but then they come upon this ancient kind of alien ship with like a total super annihilating weapon. So I'm just really curious about this one. I think I'm probably going to read this with Kayla from Crack Into a Good Book. But yeah, corporate intrigue. I also love that. I'm all about that too. So I think this is going to be a win for me also. Then I have here The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. And let me tell you something. I've heard really mixed things about this thriller, and thrillers are really hit or miss for me. I love reading thrillers, but they are so hit or miss for me. But this is about a woman who apparently killed her husband, and she hasn't said a word, and we are going to follow her therapist. I really like that trope, the therapist trope. You know, I'm a psychologist, so I also really like that trope. What can I say? But yeah, I've heard really mixed things about it. I don't usually buy thrillers, but again, super cheap. The war of the video, basically, and this week also, because I also bought some cheap books this. Sorry. And then we're getting to the last ones. I bought this after my confinement ended because I needed something fun, something to open and be just happy. I got the second book in the is it on the Cradle series by Will White. This is Soulsmith, and I love the first book. It was so fun. I think that I only have one more book to read on my TBR for this month. I need to finish Kings of Paradise, so once I finish that audiobook, I think I'm going to jump into this one because the first one I enjoyed so much. So much, like, oh, you cannot even imagine. It's basically about this guy who is branded an unsoul because he cannot connect with the magic of his kind of tribe. So he's basically punished by never learning any type of magic. It's just so cool. Please try Unsouled. It was great. And they are also, the first ones are also super short. Then I finally got my physical copy of Wildcat by J.P. Harker. Please stop with these names. I cannot with Harker, Barker, and Baker. I cannot, like, my brain cannot process so many similar names, please. But I really need to read this book this month, actually, because I'm reading it as a buddy read that is taking place on the Shelf published in Discord server, so we'll link that down below also. But yeah, I know nothing about this book other than two of my friends really love this, and the author is super nice. He's such a fun guy. But yeah, I really want to read this one. I think it's Celtic inspired, so I'm super excited for that. Then, as I told you in my last video, I got Paul's Gambit by Rob J. Hayes. This is a companion novel to Never Die. I love Never Die. It's such a fun book. Like, the first one is basically about a Shinigami tasking a kid to resurrect dead heroes to defeat the Emperor. This one is basically about something kind of related. We follow the bodyguard of a prince. The prince dies, so she's just like, oh, I'm really fucked now. But she basically sets on a path to basically resurrect the prince so she can win the war, because it's actually kind of a competition to see who will sit on the J throne. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I love these covers also, by the way. They are so damn beautiful. I'm super excited. I love this. I love this. This is my favorite, Never Die is my favorite book, but Rob J. Hayes. At least for now. I haven't read Along the Razor's Edge yet. And the last book that I have here is Hench by Natalie Zina Walschutz. Depending on the place of this author is probably right in my pronunciation, but maybe not. So one of you recommended this book to me in the comments, saying that it was the best book that they have read last year. And that got me like super intrigued, and I was just like, you know what, I haven't heard about this book, so I'm going to check it. The moment I searched it on Goodreads, the tagline is just like, this is like The Boys but a book. If you're new here, let me tell you something. I fucking love The Boys. Like, I live for that fucking show. I love it completely. The moment I saw that, I was just like, okay, I'm buying it. Like, it even has the collages, which I hate. I low-key hate on a paperback. I don't mind them on the hardbacks, but why on the paperbacks? Like, in this one, we basically follow Anna, and she basically works for this company that covers up heroes. Anna basically discovers that her suffering at the hands of a hero is not unique, and everyone has been suffering for this. I love this when the heroes are actually the bad ones, because everyone has in their minds so much like Marvel shit where every hero is just like good, everyone with powers is going to be good. I love the twist of the supposedly good guys being bad, like in The Boys. I just love it so much. So I think it's going to be fantastic. I've been eyeing this book. I've been keeping it on my nightstand just because I really want to get to this one. If I finish my TBR for a damn month, I'm so excited for this one. But yeah, that was basically all. Yeah, I bought a bunch of books these last 3 months. I needed them just when I got out, like, please, some joy. But yeah, have you read any of these? Please, in that case, let me know down in the comments below which ones should I prioritize. I'm for sure reading Hench soon because it looks so cool. But yeah, that's basically going to be all for today. So, as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye! Oh my god, I'm so tired.